Planetary, issue number 24.
There he is. You promised you'd stop him hitting me, right?
Elijah, we need to talk.
Yes, follow me.
We know what you've been doing, and we know what you're going to do.
Of course you do. You're good with information. You're an agent for something you can't see, Drums.
What?
I think you're probably a new kind of human, hooked into an informational underspace. What exactly did you want to talk about?
I've been following the files you've been reading. The night Ambrose died, the forced trip into the Bleed, City Zero, this thing you're on, this vendetta. It's not just about the four, is it?
Coming? Have you been down to the terminal level before? Absolute basement of the building. Rock bottom.
What have you been doing with William Leather?
That sounds faintly dirty, Chiquita.
Elijah,
I've been torturing him. Is that what you want to hear?
Jesus, Elijah.
I saw Melantha a while back. You knew that, right? Some things started making sense. Life on Earth is surrounded by protective systems. Astonishing complexity. Great mystery. It's the work of years to scrape the protective clay away from them and see them for what they are. Systems built right into the fabric of reality. You scrape and exhume and step back, and finally, you find a pattern. Imagine a system that selects out the unjustly dead from a specific area in time. Someone who understands justice. Someone who understands betrayal and loss. Someone who works for an afterlife, who wants all of us to have the best possible chance at fixing the living world. In Hong Kong, you got a glimpse of it, Drums, and called it a stack of hard drives. An emergence into the real world of the informational underspace that is, to all intents and purposes, the afterlife. In Texas, in the 19th century, on the very edge of death, John Leather was co-opted by the afterlife, just as our guy in Hong Kong was. It was just dumb luck that his son, Brett, was a century baby. Another protective system, complementary yet unrelated. We look and act and perform and even die like humans, but we're something else. We have tasks. We don't always know it. Sometimes we're not up to it. But we're machines constructed by life's invisible defensive systems to do a job. The three of us came together for a reason. We represent three different systems. Chiquita, your biological father was Lord Blackstock. But you thought you were a biological fluke, superhuman, slow aging. You're the daughter of a century baby. Your mother was my first real love, a woman from the hidden African city of Opakri. Many of their genes were recessive. I think it's why they discouraged reproducing with Caucasians. Plus, of course, Blackstock's genetic contribution would have been extremely aggressive. Drums knew all this, of course. You could have been my daughter. But we would have made a lousy operation if I was constantly trying to protect my kid, right? Did you know the little bastard can actually see genetic information?
So, the Adirondacks, one of those skeletons,
was Blackstock, yes. Who is a piece of crap, by the way. I'm not supposed to smoke down here. All the old paper. So don't tell anyone.
I can't. Why are you telling me this? Why are you telling me this now?
Because I need you to understand everything. Now. There's been a time for secrets and mystery. That time's past.
So, Brett Leather is related to William Leather?
Brett Leather's wife was unfaithful. William Leather didn't inherit a thing from Brett. That's how Dowling got his hooks into William. Real life cheated him out of inheriting power. Dowling's life has been all about finding ways to approximate the abilities we all have, and then locking them away or killing them. Which brings me to the question of why he left us all alive. We find things. We protect them. It's a strange world. Let's keep it that way. All we ever did was leave a trail of breadcrumbs for Dowling. I bet that if we ever found a way to look, he'd have a complete set of my planetary guides. And when we got too dangerous to them, he removed me and let you people carry on the job. And when you all got disruptive, he set a trap. He armed all his people and built something you couldn't ignore, creating and traveling into a fictional reality. And Ambrose got killed. You two are good. You two are good. You're very good. But this isn't a job that we can do. Dang. You two are good. You're very good. But this isn't a job that can be done by just 2 people. It needs a set of skills that takes 3 people in the field. So you came to find me again. I got my memory back, and I've changed the way we do things. I know that's been bothering you. We're all old now, me and the 4. We've gotten set in our ways. If they couldn't predict us, they never would have caught us, way back when. Trapping Jacob Green on a spacecraft heading out of the solar system shocked the hell out of you. Imagine what it did to Dowling and Susskind. Leather had already taken a walk by then. He's not too smart. Took him the best part of 50 years to work out he was their water boy. Green might also have come to that conclusion, but looking the way he did, he had nowhere else to go.
Where is Leather now?
He's undergone a very traumatic experience, so he's in a planetary hospital, having his personality reconstructed. Also his eyes.
What's all this got to do with Ambrose? Drum says you've read everything about his death.
Oh, I have. He vanished after being fatally shot. What does that tell you?
Elijah, I was there. I know where you're going with this. There's no way he used his powers to survive the shooting. There would have been an informational trail. I would have seen it.
And instead, there was an absence of information. There was no sign of his presence in the physical world, not even his corpse. This is someone who had the ability to defeat local physics. What would have stopped him, even in those final moments, from shunting himself out of time and space into a place where he wouldn't quite die? No information, no change, no passage in time. I think he's still out there somewhere, frozen. Well, what can we do about that? Nothing. It makes sense to me, but I don't have the science learning to test it, let alone bring him back. I bet I know people who do, though. People who empowered themselves through interaction with the true shape of reality. People who went out into the interstices of the multiverse to change themselves. People who've spent the last 50 years hiding technologies we don't know about. People who've just lost their 2 strong arms. Randall Dowling and Kim Susskind need to be stopped because they're withholding glory from the human race. And because I'm positive they'll have the science I need to bring back Ambrose Chase. Melanctha asked me if I knew what my task was, and it's simple. I saved you, Chiquita. The elders of Apocry were going to leave you in the jungle to die. I saved you, Drums. You were a puppet, and all puppets are eventually tossed in the trash. I spent my life saving information, knowledge, and experience. And I'm going to save Ambrose. It's what I do. Yeah, I don't much care who has to suffer for me to achieve that. I'm not playing anyone's game but my own anymore.
Something's wrong. Elijah, it's getting hotter in here.
It'd take a cluster of about 20 nuclear devices to crack this bunker. That's why I have one of my collections here. Don't worry about the heat. I can handle it. Worry about the people upstairs.
It stopped.
Yeah, Chiquita. Get the elevator doors open. There's an access ladder up the side of the shaft. The shaft will have been sealed by a blast door. Keypad code to open it is 195800101.
Oh, God. The whole building. All those people.
All my people. Drums.
A space-based particle weapon, your actual orbital death ray. They tried to kill us, didn't they? Are you saying that Dowling and Susskind know anyone else with an orbital death ray? We got the records from 4 Voyagers. Kim Susskind destroyed a secret island civilization from space. They tried to kill us. They knew we were in the Brazilian office, and they tried to shoot us from space. They killed what? 500 people in the hopes of getting us.
Are you getting it now?
Oh, I'm getting it. You better have a plan that lets me hunt. I only ever had 2 friends in my life, Chiquita and Ambrose. I was with you from the start.
Well then, the game's afoot. We just have to make sure we're not the game. No more time for games at all.